In Gaza, some of us cannot completely die. Every time a bomb falls, every time shrapnel hits our graves, every time the rubble piles up on our heads, we are awakened from our temporary death. Masab Abu Toha, Things You May Find Hidden in My Ear. Poems from Gaza. Hello Eurovision friends. My name is Kristen. I'm your Eurovision auntie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're here to discuss the depressing state of this contest. And it's going to be a bit of a downer of a video, so I suggest that you maybe grab a drink, grab a snack, maybe grab a pet. I think we could all use a bit of animal therapy right now. In fact, why don't you tell us about yours in the comments if you have one? I think that could cheer people up a bit. Over here is my cat, Boudica. She is turning 19 this year. I can't believe it either. And then over here we have Dexter and Dee Dee. They are 2 years old and they are precious little gremlins, I assure you. I'm also going to try to make this a slow video, if that makes sense. I'm not going to be speaking as fast as I can. I'm not going to be doing a bunch of quick cuts or editing. I'm just going to have a little chat with my Eurovision nibblings and take the time to breathe. I'd encourage you to do the same. Now that most Eurovision creators have said their piece on the current state of the contest and their stance, I figured it was my turn. And let's be honest, I think that not making a statement at this point is, in fact, making a statement. And honestly, I would have done it sooner, but you know how I am when it comes to producing content. As I mentioned in a previous video, I am juggling multiple chronic illnesses, and I'm making this channel all on my own. There's just so much research involved in the videos that I want to produce. I mean, I've been working on an Intervision video for over a year now. It's coming, I promise. But I still apologize for this video taking so long. I should also mention, and this is likely an overreaction on my part, but there's also the little fact of me being a citizen of the United States of America in this year of our Ferto 2026. And I get that I'm literally a nobody, okay, but I'm still kind of nervous to talk about certain subjects while we're still living here. And that is my way of telling you that we are actually in the process of working on an international move in the near future. It looks like at this point it's going to be either Canada or Belgium, but either way it will be nice to be away from this. Well, I guess that addresses all of the introduction, so now that we're settled, let's get to it. Okay, here we go. If you've watched my channel during the past year and a half, first of all, thank you. You are my OGs and I appreciate you so much. Secondly, you probably will have heard me say that I am a completionist. I'm on my second watch through of Eurovision. I've already watched all of them, including semifinals. But on my second watch through now, I'm on 1978, I believe. All of that to say, I am no stranger to the controversies that the EBU has had to shadow box with. So first, we have the war of Russian aggression against Ukraine, and that ban came entirely too late. And if we're going to be honest about it, they should have been banned in 2009 when they invaded Georgia, but eventually they were kicked from the 2022 contest. They aren't even in the EBU anymore, so even if they wanted to come back and the EBU wanted to welcome them back, it would be a lot of paperwork and a lot of bureaucracy, which I'm sure would be a lot of fun to deal with. And this, in part, this loss of soft power, is why Putin stole Intervision yet again, because he wanted to have his own song contest with blackjack and hookers. Still, it took 6 countries threatening to leave before the EBU would take action. It was started by Finland, then they were joined by Sweden, Norway, Denmark, the Netherlands, and of course, Ukraine. This is what forced the EBU's hand, and that is something that we need to remember. They weren't going to do this on their own. They weren't going to do this because it was the right thing to do. They did it because they were forced to. The EBU was seemingly just fine with Russia competing at the expense of the Ukrainian artist, the delegation, the fans, the country as a whole, the target of Russia's war machine. And they expected all of us to be okay with it too. But, to their credit, they did say that Ukraine could also participate, so yay for neutrality, I guess. There are many more instances of the EBU being completely inept, but I'm going to have to save some of that for my next video. It's going to be about the EBU, all of the colossal mistakes they have made, along with some other corporations and companies, and how their behaviors and decisions have caused them to lose the goodwill that they were fortunate enough to have with their fans. Now, look, this channel isn't inherently supposed to be political, says every right-wing podcaster ever. But, of course, Eurovision is political because it's about music, and music is art. Music and art are political. The contest is also inherently political because it is an international contest between countries that have different agendas and belief systems that don't always line up. But the goal of this channel was to be silly and camp and about music history. I want to do deep dives on things and teach people about songs that they might not have really paid much attention to before. That was my goal. But when real life involves political issues, there's no way that I can just ignore it and still be taken seriously. At least, that's my opinion. I have several scripts in progress discussing political issues because, again, the contest is political. And this is not the first time that the contest has had to grapple with issues like we are dealing with now. It is also one of the biggest platforms for soft power in the world, and we need to really keep that in mind, because it's kind of a big deal. So, yeah, I just don't see how anyone can say that this contest isn't political and I am immediately suspicious of anyone who does make that claim. By the way, anyone taking shots every time I say political, please stop. Don't do that. You will die. Look, the EBU is just woefully inept. And I wanted to have at least a little faith in them. I really did believe that they would ban Israeli participation, at least for now. I wanted to have faith in them, but it's clear that they aren't working in good faith with us. Putting the Israeli participation behind a vote that safeguarded the security and integrity of the contest itself is disgusting and calculated. Martin Green said recently that the EBU is a democratic system and that the majority of broadcasters wanted Israel to stay. Well, how would you know? You didn't let them vote on it. His claim is a lie. No one was allowed to vote on Israeli participation because the vote was essentially, excuse me for bringing up American politics, but it was set up like American Congress, where essentially they forced people to vote for something because everyone knows that these are issues that need to be dealt with. But they also sneak little other things in there to make sure that they can get their bullshit through. It shows the contempt that they have for us, the delegations, the artists. Contempt. The countries that were threatening to back out had the right idea. This was how change was brought about in the EBU before. It worked. But this time the EBU just doesn't fucking care. They're willing to lose 5 very important countries. They're willing to lose a lot of fans just to appease one genocidal country. Make it make sense. And so, because of this, 5 broadcasters did indeed back out of the contest this year. We lost Slovenia, we lost Ireland, we lost Iceland, we lost Spain, and we lost the Netherlands. And them, I say thank you. If you're going to make big threats like that, you have to follow up on them. And they did. Now for me, it is going to take a lot of radical change for me to get excited about this contest again. I don't see the EBU being able to make the change before 2027, let alone 2026. They are running out of time. Because this issue isn't going to be fixed just with Israel not competing. The disrepute that the EBU was so worried about just 4 years ago with Russia is now their reality. And it takes a long time to recover from that kind of disrepute. Just ask the USA. We're doing great. The EBU have shown us that our voices, the voices of the artists, the delegations, the broadcasters, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. These feckless assholes think that they can save the world by doing absolutely nothing. Now, I am sure this will come to the surprise of absolutely no one who has watched the video up to this point, but I am feeling pretty sad about this, to put it lightly, because it didn't have to be this way. It's such a damn shame, and it is really gross that the basic moral standard of, hey, we shouldn't be killing children, and hey, colonialism is disgusting and should be relegated to the past, is being looked at like it is unreasonable. Now, that was a lot of talking without actually giving you a clear stance. So here it is. Free Palestine. Prosecute all war crimes. All of them. We have to stop this madness. We have to stop the anti-Semitism because it is disgusting and unhelpful. We have to stop allowing Netanyahu to speak for every Jewish person on the planet, because he certainly does not. And we have to stop allowing people to assume that criticizing Israel and its actions is criticizing Jewish people as a whole, and that it's anti-Semitism. It is not. But then, of course, we do have the people who actually are anti-Semitic, who try to pretend that they are just anti-Zionist, but then try to bring their anti-Semitic talking points into anti-Zionist spaces. But those people are very obvious. They really are. We cannot let them get away with it. They know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. We cannot fall for this. We cannot stand for it either. So where does all of that leave me on this platform? What are my plans? Well, I'm going to keep going. There is a lot of history and a lot of information, a lot of things we can learn from this contest. It might seem silly, but it is, like I said, political, so there is a lot going on there. I have watched all of the national finals this year, and I felt comfortable in doing that, because as many others have said, the national finals stand on their own as cultural institutions. They are a way to learn about new artists, hear new music, and appreciate the culture of each individual country that is competing, and I am here to support that. I also streamed live watch-alongs and not live watch-alongs of all of them on Twitch, and I really should have made a video here to tell you all that, so sorry. But I am planning on starting a watch-along series on Twitch. Here's my handle somewhere. I'm going to put it somewhere. I'm going to put it somewhere here. I'm going to do watch-alongs of every single Eurovision contest, starting back in 1956. It's going to be a lot of fun, for me at least. I don't know if people will join me or not, but I'm going to have a lot of trivia, and we will be ranking the songs as we watch the show. So, I don't know. I think it will be fun, so let me know in the comments if you would like to join me, how often you would like to join me. I'm thinking maybe twice a month, maybe. But yeah, that is part of my plans. And here's a big question. Will I be watching Eurovision this year? If I do, it won't be live. I'll either pirate it or watch it on Internet Archive or something. I don't want the EBU to get anything from me. Now here is the part of the video where I might ruffle a few feathers. I might have already done that, actually. But I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Like I said, I did watch Intervision last year for a video, remember? Remember earlier I said Putin stole Intervision? That's the one. So it would be very fucking hypocritical for me to not watch Eurovision this year for the same purpose, to report on the history, even if it's bullshit history that nobody actually wants to remember. If I can put my disgust aside long enough to watch that,
не оценивать сегодняшнее мое выступление. Я представляю Россию, а Россия уже победила. Победила тем, что вы все сегодня находитесь у нас в гостях.
Организаторов конкурса и делегации США причинам, вызванным беспрецедентным политическим давлением со стороны правительства Австралии, певица Васи не сможет выйти на сцену в рамках сегодняшней конкурсной программы. Грустно, когда политика пытается вмешиваться в мир, который принадлежит искусству, музыке и человеческим чувствам.
so I could put together a video essay to talk about what a mess it was, what a failed propagandistic stunt it was, how it was literally stolen from the former Czech Republic and Poland, then I should probably hold up my convictions and do something similar with what was supposed to be the morally superior contest. I want to be very crystal clear when I say that I do not judge any content creator who decides to not create content on Eurovision anymore. At all. It was something that I struggled with for a while. I guess that might be another reason why it took me so long to make this video. It wasn't because my stance wasn't firm, it's because I didn't know what to do with it. For me personally, and please remember, this is personally, if people who make content only talk about positive things and things that they like, things that they agree with, then the only people making content about Eurovision this year will be people who agree with what the EBU and Israel is doing, has done, and will continue to do. The contest will become an even bigger propaganda event for Benjamin Netanyahu. You can't just look away when things get bad. I'm not saying other creators are. But we need to stare this right in the face and say that we will not be fooled. We will not accept this. And I think the other creators have made it clear how they stand on this. So, as I said, I judge no one. Reporting on this depressing topic is not for everyone, and it's difficult because if you're a content creator for Eurovision, it very likely means that this is something that you're incredibly passionate about. And to have it taken away from you in this way, to see what it's turned into, is heartbreaking. So in the incredibly unlikely event that one of those content creators is watching this, or maybe one of you, I just want you to know that I hope that things get better too. And I hope that it gets to a point where your passion returns and you can return to us, because we miss you. Ultimately, as a community, as a species, we're all in this together. Only with time will we see where things will end up. I'll be here, either on Twitch, this channel, maybe another channel, I don't know. I have been considering making a second channel, like instead of ESC Auntie, like ETC Auntie. No one steal that. It's trademarked in my mind, okay? But I have a lot of other interests, believe it or not. Did you know I'm an artist? I like to do mostly mixed media. Can you hear my cat? She's very upset that I've closed the gate to the basement. We might have to go get her. Here she is. Do you remember? This is Dee Dee from earlier. Say hi, honey. You're a very sweet cat. Careful. Can you lay down, please? And not attempt to eat my microphone? Alright. Anyways, I think she might be joining us for a bit. Or who knows how long, really. Anyways, I am an artist. There she goes. I like to work with mixed media. I like to do a lot of kind of crazy, intricate beading. This is a moon that I created. All of those beads are placed individually. And the white side glows in the dark. I have glow-in-the-dark beads and glow-in-the-dark paint underneath it, so it gets pretty bright at night. I also paint with hot glue. I know it probably sounds impossible and confusing, but I don't have anything finished. Everything I've finished I've sold, but here's a tree that needs more work. Here's another tree. I make a lot of trees, but this will be painted and decorated and everything, so it's not just clear glue on a wooden background. And I have, like I said, a lot of interest. I also do wood burning. This is not my design. It is something that I created from a coloring book that I liked, just to have to remind me of the hedgehogs that we used to have. So that was a fun project. So if anyone would be interested in seeing me do any of that, that's always a possibility too. So yeah, that is the plan. My uploading and streaming schedule for the next 6 months to a year may be kind of screwier than even usual. As I said before, we are looking to do an international move by the end of the year. So I'll be busy with all of that, getting the house prepared to sell and actually and actually doing the move itself. Dexter? We might have cat number 2. Oh boy. Anyways, maybe I can find a way to be concise enough to start posting some shorts, but probably not. Even a video like this is going to be a lot longer than it probably needs to be. I apologize if you can hear a bit of background noise. It's dinner time for the cats, so they can make a bit of a ruckus. In the meantime, though, please take care of yourselves, my friends. Please take the time to check in on your friends, your family, your neighbors. Do what you can to help your communities. I know it's a cliche, but we really do have to be the change that we want to see in the world. I urge you to call out things like anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I urge you to call out things like fascism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, all of it. It is one of the most basic and effective ways that an average person like you or I can actually make a difference. And when you're mentally exhausted from all of that, come on, you know what I'm going to say. Please try to get off of social media. It is getting so bad with AI and misinformation. I don't see how pretend fruit dating each other and beating each other up is entertaining. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just old, but I really don't believe that we as a species are meant to live this way. Protect yourselves, my nibblings. I'll see you soon.